So today I thought I would do a video that actually a few people have asked me to do. But yeah, a few of you on my Instagram have asked me to do the piercings and tattoos tag or video. I've been planning to do this video for about a month, but there was a tattoo that I knew I was going to get soon, so I wanted to wait until I got that, which I literally got like 2 hours ago. I have 2 tattoos and 7 piercings. I had 9 piercings, but I had to take 2 out because it got infected. And I apologise, this isn't like a recovery, my usual kind of like, you know, themed video, but I haven't been able to upload half as much as I want to. I want to do like a couple of videos a week at least, and I've only been able to do like, I think I've done like 2 in the past fortnight, but that's just because I'm working so much at my part-time job at the moment. Yeah, hopefully I can start doing some more videos again, like getting more regular with my uploads in the next couple of weeks, most definitely. And also I still have like creator's block, like I have no idea what to film. I'm just stuck with ideas, so that's another reason why I haven't really been uploading too much. But yes, anyway, so I'll talk about my piercings first, and then I'll talk about my tattoos. So the first piercings, I feel like most people's first piercings is their first lobe. That's the first piercings that I got. I was, how old was I? It was the end of year 6. I think it was the summer that I was about to go to high school, to secondary school. So I would have been 11, so that was like nearly 9 years ago. No, nearly 8 years ago. I mean, I've since then got my second lobes done, so I guess, you know, it was around the same kind of pain, but I was a little bit young. Well, I was quite a lot younger, like I said, I was only 11. Oh, actually, no, I remember, I got it, yeah, because I think it was like a £15 voucher, and that did both of my lobes, that my mum's friend got me, my sister's godmum. That was my birthday present from her, and yeah, so yeah, I got them for my 11th birthday. I think it was like a couple weeks after. But yeah, I mean, obviously I don't remember being too happy about the pain, but you know, I was just glad that I finally had my ears pierced. And I remember thinking then, she was like, oh, do you want me to, you know, try and leave room for your seconds? And I was like, I'd never get my seconds done. 7 piercings later. And yeah, then the third piercing I got was my tummy. Let me just try and show you this one. So I'd wanted my belly button pierced since I was about like 12, 13, and I actually remember that I tried to do it myself because my parents said wait until you're 16, which is the legal age, I think, in the UK that you can do it. So she said like wait until I was 16, and I was like, oh my god, that's like in forever. So I remember I tried to do it on my own with an earring and an ice cube, but obviously now I know, you know, that like it kind of freezes and it like stiffens the blood vessels, so I couldn't get the earring through. But that was good because I didn't actually realise at the time that it's not supposed to be pierced with a normal earring because the gauge is way smaller than like a belly button piercing. I think, I could be wrong again, but I think a normal stud is like 22, and then a belly button barbell is 16 or 18 gauge. It's like really, like, it's like 4 times the size, so it's a good job that I couldn't pierce it with this tiny blimming earring. And I did it the wrong part of my belly button anyway. Like, I did it underneath, whereas it's supposed to like be on top. And then yeah, I turned 16, and then I think about a month later it was about a week before I started college, so I just turned 16. It was September 2015, and that was definitely my most painful piercing, like out of all of them, just because, I mean, I know it's different with everyone, but I do feel like, for me, obviously if it's going through skin, it stings. If it's going through cartilage, it's like more of a hurt, like an achy kind of hurt, like a pain. And yeah, I prefer pain rather than stinging, I think. And with the belly button, it's going through so much skin that like no wonder it hurts. Plus it's quite a wide needle. Like, I don't want to put anyone off if they're getting their belly button pierced. Like, it's totally worth it. It wasn't agony, but you know, it was like pretty painful. It's definitely my most painful piercing. But yeah, obviously it's bearable. I'll probably say that with like all these piercings and all my tattoos, it's painful, but it's totally worth it. Like, for what it is, like, it's nothing too dramatic. I feel like, especially with tattoos, people make them out to be like this like excruciating thing, and then you get one and it's like, oh, is that it? But yeah, I think I have a pretty high pain threshold, I think. Like, either that or I'm just quite like strong-minded, like I don't really mind pain. But yeah, I do have anxiety, so that for me makes it really, really hard, like, and that obviously heightens my senses, which makes it hurt more. Like, I used to think I was awful with pain, but actually I think I'm just like because I'm a very anxious person, I think my anxiety just makes me dread pain more. But yeah, healing time for that, it took about a year, I think, to like properly heal, but I know I kind of expected that anyway. It did get infected, however. I feel like it healed like after a couple of weeks for the most part, and then it got infected. Like, it was definitely infected, but it wasn't like awful. Like, I didn't even have to go to the doctors for it. It just kind of healed up on its own. January 2017, January last year, I got my helix and my second lobes. Second lobes, like I said, they just stung quite a lot. And to be honest, it was more painful than I thought it was going to be, just because I was getting my cartilage. I expected that to be agony, and then afterwards I was like, oh, this is just a lobe, I'm not going to feel anything. But it did sting quite a lot. I actually really don't enjoy getting my lobes done. So yeah, I got my second ones done. I asked her to do my helix first because this was like the first cartilage piercing I'd ever gotten. I thought it was going to be excruciating, and it was like so easy. Like I said, it wasn't any more painful than these. I remember she put the clamp on, because they put like a clamp and then they get the needle. I made the mistake of looking at the needle. Like, I'm not squeamish too much, but the only thing I don't like is needles. So yeah, I was like dreading it. My heart was beating. I was like, oh geez, I'm gonna like die. And she put the clamp on and I was like, oh, that's a little bit tight, but that's okay. I remember saying out loud, oh, that's quite tight. And then she was like, oh, the needle's through. And I was like, oh, really? Was that it? So I didn't even feel her putting the needle through. I thought it was her putting the clamp on. So that just kind of goes to show, like, it wasn't as painful as I thought it would be. And I was like, oh, now I'm happy. And then there's the kind of like annoying part where they have to put the jewellery in. But that's not half as painful as like the actual needle going through. So I don't really dread that bit. But these ones, they're not as healed as these ones. Like, obviously these ones are fully healed. These ones still hurt sometimes. I would say they're obviously definitely healed. Like, that was nearly 18 months ago I got these, and they're only lobes, and they should only take a couple months to heal at the most. But this one, it's still healing. It's almost been 18 months. It's definitely healed for the most part, but it's just such a nightmare. Like, cartilage piercings, well, mostly helix. Like, when I went to the doctors for one, I'll explain that in a second. That's a whole story and a half. She said this is like the worst place to get a piercing healing wise. Like, it's not enough to put you off one, and I definitely get it in the future, but you've just got to really take care of it, because if it gets infected, it's really nasty. I now know not to put stainless steel in my cartilage because my ears just don't like it. It kind of like, it doesn't get it infected, but it kind of makes it unheal, if that makes sense. So yeah, I've got just a normal silver one in now with just like a little diamond at the end. And then yeah, I put the ring in, and a couple days later it got really bad again. Like, it's still a little bit red. So yeah, it was red and just really sore, so I had to put the stud back in, which is really annoying. And then, when did I get my other ones? And then last October, I got my tragus, or tragus, however you say it. I say either because I don't know which one's right. And I also got a double helix here. R.I.P. So I asked her to do this one first again with that one because I thought it was going to be excruciating. But honestly, this was the least painful piercing I've ever had in my life. Like, less painful than these. And yeah, and then he did these two. And I remember this kind of like hurting more than I remembered it to hurt on this one, but I don't know, I guess it just kind of like, you know, depends on how you're feeling or how anxious you are, or whether you've been eating or stuff. And then yeah, he did that, and this one literally took like 8 weeks, and then it was healed completely. I just wish all piercings were this easy. But yeah, I don't remember when this started playing up. I was in Oxford that day with my mum because I was on that mindfulness hospital course thing for my anxiety. And it was like swollen and sore then, but because, this sounds weird, but like, I didn't really pay much attention to my ears. Like, I didn't really know what they should have looked like, if you know what I mean. So by the time it was really swollen, I didn't notice much of a difference, and it wasn't too painful. Well, I didn't think it was clearly infected, but my mum was like, yeah, Emily, you need to ring the doctors. So we were on the way back, and we rang the doctors, and they said come in immediately. So I went into the doctors, and she took one look at it, and she said, wow, that's a bad infection. I'll give you the strongest antibiotics and painkillers that I physically can without, you know, you going to the hospital and them prescribing it to you, and take it out right now, and if it doesn't get better, I will come back and I'll refer you to a skin like surgeon. And I was like, ah! So yeah, I wasn't planning on being like really stupid and just ignoring her. Because then I walked out and I was like, to my mum, I remember saying, it doesn't feel that bad, like, it's clearly infected, but I want to give it a chance to go down on its own because I don't want to have to take them out. Because like I said, I didn't really notice that it was very swollen, but I've since then watched back that vlog that I did, and I look at my ear and it's like twice the size that it should have been. Like, it was literally out here, and it got to the point where I couldn't even touch it like that without it throbbing. Because it's just a piercing, I kind of thought, oh, it's just a little piercing infection, how bad can it be? And yeah, I went to bed that night, and I remember it being really painful, because I remember I was watching Winnie the Pooh. I was going through like a Winnie the Pooh binging stage. I remember thinking, if this gets any worse, I'm going to take it out. And for me to say that, it must have been pretty bad, because like I said, I didn't want to take it out unless I really had to. I'm aware I probably sound really stupid, like the doctor told me to take it out, I should have, but I honestly didn't realise how bad it was. But yeah, and I woke up at about 2, and oh my god, that was like the worst I've ever felt in my life. It's like all this pressure was in my head, and my ear was like throbbing, and I couldn't even like think about touching it without like wanting to like vomit everywhere. So I went to the bathroom, I got some tweezers, and I tried to take it out, but actually I think I still have the barbells that were in that ear, which is really disgusting. But I like cleaned them and everything after they took them out. When they pierce your ear, I don't know if that's the same with lobes, but definitely with cartilage, the barbells they use, which is just like an earring, but I think like a little bit thicker, are very, very long to give it room to swell if it needs to during the healing process. My ear was so swollen, like the skin around it had swelled up over the ball, like you could still see it, but it was so swollen that I couldn't get it out, and also because I couldn't touch it anyway. So I rang my mum and I was like crying. I was like, oh my god, mum, I need to get these out, but I can't, like I'm in so much pain, it's really badly infected. And this was when I was on the antibiotics. I'm just so lucky, so like thankful that I went to the doctors, otherwise I would have been freaking out twice as much, because I would have been like, what is going on, like this isn't normal. Is it just an infection, or is it like, am I dying? I realised I wanted to make this video short, but I actually have like loads of stories within this video, so it's not going to be short. I do apologise. And then about like 3 AM I decided to just like give up. I was like, mum, this is not coming out. And she was like, in the morning I'll take you to A&E and hopefully they can get it out. So yeah, I called in sick for work, and then I went to A&E that morning, and I remember just sitting in A&E and I was almost physically sick. Like, not because I'm squeamish or anything, like I've said, I'm not, but I guess the infection had just gotten that bad that my body was fighting it so much that it actually made me physically ill, which is like awful to think about. Like at the time it wasn't too bad, but looking back, like that was a really bad infection. And then yeah, we were in A&E, and I remember the lady at the desk was like, you do know all that we can do is take it out, we can't like do anything else. And I was like, yes, that's all I want, just get it out. So yeah, and then I went in and they put me on gas and air, which is like what they put people on when they've bloody broken their bones and they need to like put them back in place. Yeah, they put me on gas and air and they took it out, and that was really painful. I was like shaking when they were doing it, but I was kind of like half high anyway because like I was on gas and air. And yeah, and then they took it out, and then I was happy. And then they put like a bandage on my ear and I looked ridiculous, but it was kind of funny. Yeah, loads of people were saying, and lots of my friends were saying as well, don't take it out because it, you know, it leaves an open wound for the infection to get in. But if I had not taken that out, I would have lost my ear, you know, and it already destroyed part of my ear. So I don't know if you can see now, but I think you can a little bit. When you look at me like face on, this bit is like round and it's full, and it's, you know, it's just like the thickness is like consistent. Whereas if you look here, it's round and then it just kind of is flat here. That's where the infection was. And if you feel here, I get all my friends to do it and they're like, ugh, that's disgusting. It's really raggedy, like the edge is really rough. It feels like a caterpillar's like taking a bite out of a leaf, and it's got like loads of teeth marks. That's what it feels like. I didn't actually notice that until a couple of weeks later when I was feeling my ear, and I was like, where's my cartilage gone? But yeah, that's obviously where the infection was. And now I can't get pierced any lower than here, which is so annoying because I wanted to get this bit re-pierced so I could then get my forward helix pierced, because I already have one high up, I don't want another one high up on this ear. But yeah, the place that I've just got tattooed at, I was going to get another tattoo, but I ended up not, I was going to get another piercing, but I ended up not bothering today. But yeah, she just explained that she can't do it down here because where the cartilage, I assume it's where the cartilage is gone, there's no room for it to breathe when it heals because there's literally nothing there. Okay, I feel like that took me a long time to explain, but that's all my piercings. Now my tattoos, I'll try and go over them really quickly. So this is the first tattoo I got. It just says dream in like cursive writing. I actually have the same sticker on my guitar, just like with a capital D. I couldn't decide between a capital and a lowercase letter, but I ended up going for the lowercase because I love really small, dainty, like delicate tattoos. If you just look at like, you know, small Tumblr tattoos, that's the kind of thing I like. But I like really meaningful stuff. This is like just about like my music and just about like I don't know, I'm a dreamer, you know what I mean? Then my second tattoo, which I got, like I said, a couple hours ago. This one I got on my 18th birthday. I was actually technically still 17. It was like 2 hours before I turned 18. Got it at like 10 AM on my actual 18th birthday, because that's the legal age in the UK to get a tattoo. And yeah, the pain was not as bad as I thought it would be. And this here and here are apparently the two most painful places to get a tattoo. I know the foots and the ribs like pretty bad, and the neck and stuff as well. But yeah, honestly, it was fine. Like, it really wasn't that bad. It does feel like someone is just like scratching or stabbing you, and you can't really explain it until you've like had a tattoo. But yeah, it's painful, but it's not the kind of pain that makes you want to like pull away and go, ow, stop, if you know what I mean. Like, I was so terrified that I was gonna pull away and like they were gonna ruin it. This took about 2 minutes, and this took about 2 minutes. These are probably, unless I like change my mind when I'm older, these are probably the biggest tattoos I'm actually gonna get. I want a lot of other ones, but they're like smaller, like just little symbols and stuff. But yeah, I'm still only 18. Like, I don't want to get them all now and then have like nothing to look forward to, because they are addictive. This one actually hurt more than this one, even though I was terrified today that this one was going to hurt a lot. Like, it really wasn't that bad. I wanted it kind of, I'm sure like loads of you saw my pull. I couldn't decide between here and here, and I've kind of gone in the middle, because the guy at the tattoo parlour said that was probably going to hurt a lot and that would look nicer. But they were kind of like both similar pain. I assume if you get it like here or like in the least painful places, it will be kind of a different kind of pain. Like, it will hurt a lot less, but these two were almost identical on like pain levels and stuff. I originally wanted this one here, but I kind of decided to go on my arm because I thought it would be less painful for like a second tattoo. And oh, I also am going to get my helix done and my forward helix. But yeah, I'm quite nervous about that one because I feel like that would hurt a lot more. Like, it feels a lot more thicker than this. Healing wise, tattoos are fine. They only take like a couple of weeks, and then like, you know, the following months after, they're just kind of like healing up completely. But yeah, if this, I know this would probably look a bit better if it was like here. It's not so much tucked away, but it's not like in the middle. But if this is like any higher, I know this one doesn't, but this has got really short sleeves. Most of my sleeves, just probably because like my arms are tiny, they cover like the tattoo up to like here anyway. So if I was to have it any higher, it would be hidden, which I don't really want. Oh, also I forgot to say, I did have this one drawn out how I wanted it, but they kind of wanted me to like find the font online, and I actually knew what font it was on dafont.com. They just printed it out in the font that I wanted, so I didn't actually draw this one, but this one I did draw. Like, that's my own drawing, just because I couldn't find online. Like, I wanted it to be like sketchy, but not like a cartoon drawing too much, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I couldn't find like online what I wanted perfectly, so yeah, I just ended up drawing this one myself. And I like it because you can kind of tell that it's been hand drawn, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not too messy, but it's not like a drawing. It's more like a sketch rather than a perfect drawing, if you know what I mean. I don't even like have a thing for daisies, the actual flowers. I mean, I kind of do now that I have one like on me forever. But I just kind of feel like they just mean like positivity and like innocence and just all that's good in the world. That's kind of why I wanted to get this one. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong, and I might even in the future just get one just for the sake of it. I like mine to have like meaning, and I'm quite like a sentimental person that I feel like even if I just got a random drawing, I would like find a meaning behind it anyway. But yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave any requests below if you have any, because like I said, I don't know what to film. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!